Now, the inventive step requirement for patents it sort of adds on top of the novelty requirement, in that whatever that feature was or step in the process was that is new and that one is relying on to meet the novelty requirement, whatever that feature or step is also needs to be not obvious to someone who's familiar with the technology area. And we call this sort of it's like a hypothetical notional legal person, the person skilled in the art. And the question of whether an invention contains an inventive step is asked to that person skilled in the art. And it goes something like this. Would it be obvious to you, person skilled in the art, in light of your common general knowledge in the field, and in light of the entire prior art base, that's the same prior art base essentially that applies to the question of novelty, would it be obvious to you, in light of all this information, to arrive at the invention? Now, it's often thought that everything's obvious in hindsight. And so how could anything be truly not obvious if you've got the whole of the world's publications as prior art? However, the patent system doesn't really see things this way. The patent system would say that sort of analysis contains hindsight bias. And so the type of arguments that we use to establish that an invention is not obvious are ones where we look to the motivation of the person skilled in the art to even look at a particular prior art document. So for example, if a prior art document is teaching towards solving a different problem or solving the same problem in a different way, then it might be the person skilled in the art, whilst having access to that document, may not look to that document in trying to solve this particular problem. So another type of argument that we use to show an invention is not obvious is the long felt need argument, which goes something like, well, this problem is well recognized. I mean, people have been aware of this problem for decades even, and the idea that solves this problem is relatively simple. So if this invention really was obvious, then why doesn't it exist? Why isn't it on the shelves in stores today?